Welcome to the Joe Cohen Show. Join me as I share my experience with biohacking and invite top health experts to explore the latest technology, supplements, research, and resources for optimizing your body and brain. Hey everyone, I'm excited to bring on Jean Fallacara. Mr. Fallacara is a visionary entrepreneur, neuroscientist, athlete, founder, bioengineer, and storyteller. I've spoken to him a number of years ago. We connected, and yeah, he seems like a very interesting guy. And then recently I came across his Instagram. He's doing really cool stuff. I was like, okay, this guy's fit. He's got some things that I could learn something from. He's obviously very knowledgeable, prides himself with a 167 IQ. I believe that's smarter than me,
I don't think
at
so.
least when measuring IQ.
Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. But yeah, we have a lot of intersections. He's interested in genetics, biohacking, and I want to get his opinions and views on a whole bunch of different topics. How he improves his performance, what does he do, how many supplements does he take, if any, just to go through the whole gamut, if we will. Jean, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Joe. It's an honor for me to be on this show. And as you said, a couple of years, I remember that moment where I was starting my podcast on Instagram Live. I was among the 10 first people that were authorized to use live Instagram. And I was on the beta testing. And you came at that moment to be on my show. It was super interesting, super cool. But time flew and it's been years. And I just realized that I missed talking to you and I missed actually getting connected more to see what you were doing. I was always like watching what where your company was going. But this show that you have now and everything you've done since then, congrats. Now
Thank you.
you have to come to my podcast.
Absolutely. I really appreciate that. Just as an update, we're going to be launching Self Decode 3.0 really soon. And that's going to
Okay.
be really cool. Yeah. It's just a teaser. We have a longevity screener coming out. So it's
Wow.
going to give you absolute risk scores about what are the things that you're most likely to die from first. And therefore you could track them with blood tests, and there's recommendations to prevent them. And then there's the first precision health GPT that we're releasing, which is you could talk to your DNA, lab tests, all your precision health data, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to know based on that data, because we have so much, the platform is so big, and this kind of really made sense for that. And then we made a lot of updates to our recommendations engine, which really, I started to
Nice.
just follow my recommendations engine that takes into account all this different kinds of data. So all these things with new algorithm updates for genetic predispositions, and we have 650 reports now. All these things are automatic. We're automatically going to create an action plan for people. There's a whole bunch of changes that I'm really excited about for Self Decode 3.0. So
That's
really
very
looking forward to
cool.
that.
Yeah, you need to be on our platform with that because this is exactly what we're trying to bring to the public. Those people are going online and they're going on social media and they're lost because they don't know who to believe, what is true, what is not, and what to do, because some say, oh, you should eat steaks, and some others avoid eating proteins from meat. So I like what you're doing there. There's definitely a fit for what we're trying to do with Biohacker Magazine at large, providing unbiased information to the public. And then on our platform, where it's going to be a central hub for information. So that what you're doing fits exactly in what we are doing as well. We should definitely
Absolutely.
discuss deeply on
Let's
that.
talk about that and see
Yeah.
ways that it could make sense from
Okay.
directions. We do
Yeah.
have 65 companies that use our infrastructure. We have an
Wow.
API. People can take whatever information they want from the
Wow.
infrastructure. Of course, with the user has to consent. But the idea is that what I found was really missing in precision health. There was a lot of talk about precision health, but
Mm.
actual software and infrastructure that allowed people to do cutting edge genetics and all that stuff was missing. And so we had to make a decision. Do we want to hog all this stuff for Self Decode? or allow other companies, other regions to use that infrastructure. And really, they could go down specific niches. They could go down to, they can be in specific regions. There's no way we're going to reach every niche or every region. So
Yeah.
and so companies are also going to be able to use that precision health GPT, like customer. We have the ability to easily upload whatever data, right? There's lab data, fill out some
Oh, yeah.
questionnaires, genetics
Okay.
from a whole bunch of different companies. So the ability to upload input data was one of the problems. And then from there, you could start talking to that data. And so companies can white label all these tools that we've built, everything that we have on Self Decode. They could use it for their own niche, their own products. We have a whole bunch of variety of companies. Some are creating supplements using it. Some are just doing it in certain regions. Some of them is really like the whole gamut. Some of them are creating certain genetics companies, right? Just for specific
Nice.
areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we allow people to, obviously they don't have access to our user data, but the technology is we allow that people to access that with an API and a whole bunch of services.
I like that.
So
Yeah, I like that. I like the concept. And it's different. Yeah, definitely fits into what we could be a great extension for what we offer to our public. We reach out to about 5 million people across the planet. So could be also a good leverage for you guys.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's discuss that later. But I wanted to get into you're doing some pretty crazy stuff. Can we start with how old you are?
Yeah, sure.
I think that sets the tone because this is a 20-year-old guy doing cool stuff. It's still cool, but not as cool as if you're older doing it. The older you are, the cooler it is.
Yeah. I always had in my mind that people get old because they want to get older. Like it's our education, it's our society, it's the way that we've been informed by our parents. So some sort of our education, and they like people say like at 30 you shouldn't do this sport. At 40 you shouldn't do this. At 50 you should sit around a table, play card, and have a drink.
Bingo.
Yeah, or play bingo. Even worse. Not me.
This is the worst sport, right? Imagine playing bingo. You're like literally, it's so mind numbing, and you're just sitting down there. Whoever invented bingo, it's the worst freaking thing ever.
Yeah.
Like a recipe
Yep.
to die. Like, all right, we're sentencing you to death by way of bingo.
Yeah, that's it. Play bingo. You're gonna lose all your
Death
neurons
sentence.
starting now.
Neurons are just fading away as they. Number 3.
It's a number of neurons. Yeah. No, that's the number of neurons that you have left. 62.
Oh man, the worst
Yeah.
sport ever. Okay, yeah,
It's
I hear you.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. So I've I don't care about my date of birth or whatsoever. I haven't celebrated my birthday since the age of 40, and it's not why. So because I don't fucking
Is
care.
it unknown how old you are? Is that something that
I
you
think
don't
that if you Google my name, it's there somewhere because some scammer said, I'm going to reveal your name and I'm going to reveal your age.
Okay. All right. I think it sounds better if again, I don't know how old you are, but I don't know. In some ways, I think it's better if you're like the older you are, the better because you're doing really
Yeah.
cool stuff.
Some people, I see people on Instagram like they are, oh, I'm 50 and I'm doing this. And I'm just like, I'm older than you
Okay.
and
So
I'm
we have
doing
some
better.
compass. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to-
No, what counts in terms of DNA and telomeres and everything, actually what counts is biological age. This is one of the code that I came up with is your biological age is the credit score of your body.
By which test are you measuring?
Today I'm using like either through age, glycan age, anything related to telomeres measurement methylation. I've done like probably over 100 tests. One of the most accurate, to be honest, is using glycans on
Okay,
glycan
interesting.
age. Seems to be pretty steady and it doesn't change over, if you do it 5 times during the same week, it's pretty stable.
What about the true age? What was your
Works
pace
very
of
well.
aging?
Yeah. It's a very good one. Yeah, both have advantages and their setback, But I think that I like both. I like both companies. I like both testing. Through
Okay.
Age, of course, is way more well known in America than Age. But I work with both companies, and for me, it's important. Is like when I started to measure my biological age, I was 20% below my age, and I kept
Okay.
growing older. But my biological age went down to 30%, and now it's 50%. So I'm
Wow.
28. You can make the calculation and you get my age.
We don't have to have 107 IQ to figure out how old you are now.
That's it, huh?
All right, I got it. I got it. I won't announce it, but I've got it.
Because you don't play bingo.
That's right. That's right. I'm not a bingo player. So, one second. I want to understand. First of all, give me a background. I guess you could get some insights into a person based on how many supplements they're taking.
Yeah,
Like, how many
yeah.
supplements? You take?
Not even 10 pills a day.
Not even 10. Okay, so you're not a supplement guy. All right.
No,
So,
absolutely
what do you
not.
everybody's got their thing, right? It's either they're really into fitness, they're really into diet, supplements. I'm assuming most people who are really into the space do a little bit of all of them, right? Everybody's got their thing. What's your thing? Is that exercise?
Definitely exercise for me, it's not only exercising, it's therapeutic, it's psychological, it's everything related to my mind. So if I don't exercise, I actually freak out or get into obsessive compulsive disorder tendencies, or maybe some sort of behaviors that are like ruminating or something like that. So I need this exercise to keep my mind in peace. But at the same time, the benefit of the exercise I do, calisthenics, is not even questionable. Is the most efficient exercise ever, because you're reaching out to nerves and muscle that no other sport can can get you. It's derivated from gymnastic, and there's tons of studies from one is famous from University of Miami, the sports department, that shows that gymnastic, because of the way you train, first it's a calorie burner for sure, but then the mind-body connection is at the extreme. Because did you know that you have a small muscle just behind your last bone on the side, for example? I do. I do know every single part of my body now, and I can control them.
What that tells me is that you're generally higher on glutamate, and exercise is something that actually brings glutamate down.
Mhm.
Interesting enough. That's probably how one of the ways it's helping you is bringing down glutamate.
Yeah.
But what I guess calisthenics is something that I've been interested in. I never really got into it, and part of the reason is I feel like I would be prone to injuries. Like if I
No.
don't do things correctly. Everybody I've ever spoken to in calisthenics, and you might be the exception, but they all have injuries. They're like, "Yeah, I'm injured here or there or whatever." I'm
Yeah.
just like, "I don't know about this stuff."
Never had one single injury. Never.
Incredible. Okay.
I don't do freestyle, so maybe those guys are doing freestyle, but I do static most of the time, and never had one single injury. Honestly, never. The only things that was
Never
happened to
fell in
me
the wrong
once,
way or
I think that it's just because people don't pay attention to warm up first. They try to have they don't train intelligently. They don't train appropriately. They go on training. If you want to perform on planche, for example, which is one of the hardest movements in calisthenics, you cannot go jump on a planche, do one, come back at it right away. You need to wait 5, 6, 7 minutes between each attempt. And an attempt is not even 10 seconds. But
Mhm.
people, they go and go because they're this type of short-minded sometime where, oh, I missed it, I'm going to try again. This is how you hurt yourself.
Yeah, I'd probably be one of those people. I'm not sure if it fits my personality. I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna 20 times for 1 minute. I'm in fill over the
I can't.
You're like,
I can't walk. I'm going to go
yeah,
bingo.
exactly. I'm gonna pick up bingo." Yeah, so I guess you're saying if you got to be very intelligent and strategic about it, and then it could work. Otherwise, yes, you could get injured if you don't know what you're doing.
Hey, Joe, the highest performing athlete in the world are the ones that are working with their brain. They're not the ones that are working with their muscle. The one with the muscle always are sitting on a bench or in an hospital because of injuries, but those are not performers.
Interesting. So do you find that other people, you must know a lot of people in this calisthenics community, do you find that a lot of them or most of them get injured, or you think that the people you hang around are more professionals and they're not getting injured?
Most of the friends have this way of training that is pretty much appropriate. But I see when you go to calisthenics parks or competition or things like that, that there's a lot of what I would call lost mind. And it's a pity. It's a side-on problem, actually. Many kids that they've been struggling in their life and they end up doing calisthenics because first it's an addictive sport for sure. And it gets into your mind in a way that is very extreme. So you see those people that have dropped school, being in violent families or abused or even have no home doing calisthenics. And those are the ones that are like always injured, always. It's their way of life that brought them there, but it's a pity. Unfortunately, this sport is not the sport where you're going to find the highest IQs. And I'm going to get enemies by saying that, but it is true.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't realize. Which sports do you get the highest IQ?
I think any sport that is tactical,
Like what?
probably, yeah, fencing, probably
Fencing is
is
high
one.
IQ.
I don't know.
UFC
I could,
fighters, where is that? What is their IQ level at?
you know what? I was
Trying to make you a
vice
lot of
champion
enemies
of
now.
kickboxing, and that sport either was not high IQ.
I'm gonna go through each sport and make you a bunch of enemies. No, great.
I make the world
Jean,
my enemy.
Jean, people are stupid.
No. No, I'm not
So
saying they're stupid. I'm
yeah, no,
saying
I'm
that
kidding.
the way that they process information is probably not accurate enough or not appropriate enough to be a great performer. You can be good at sport without having a high IQ, of course, but you're
I've
going to be
demonstrated
injured
that. No,
way
I'm
more
kidding.
than the other.
I hear you. Have you ever tried any other sports?
Yeah, I was into kick Muay Thai before. I did skydiving, so many jumps,
Yeah, skydiving
rock
isn't like an
climbing.
exercise sport. You're not. Are
It's a
you? I
trail
mean,
sport. You're
it's
right.
not a workout. You're not getting a workout there, right?
It depends. How do you define a workout? Is it because you're sweating that you think that you're performing more than others?
Yeah, it's like cardio, building muscle. Like either you're building endurance or muscle. I feel like is what I guess. When I talk about sport, I'm considering like sports where you're exercising.
There
So
is an
either
activity.
building muscle or
Yeah.
building
Yeah.
endurance in some way.
Well, yeah. Okay. I'm with you on that.
Coordination, balance, mobility, like these
Right.
kinds of things.
Yeah. So like rock climbing or
Rock
those
climbing would be
sports.
a
Yeah.
sport. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
exactly. Right. You're getting exercise in different ways.
Yeah.
So you've done rock climbing. You like rock climbing?
Yeah. I've done kickboxing, Muay Thai, rock climbing. I was not a sports the way you see it. I was a car,
Racer. Okay,
uh,
that's cool. It's cool
then
nonetheless.
skydiving. Yeah. All this shit. Yeah.
Okay. You're probably building your forearm, right? To do holding on the wheel for your life. Your forearms are super strong.
No, I think that it's everything related to reflex and coordination when you drive fast cars or UVs in the sand. And even skydiving, it's the most important thing in skydiving is the 1.2 or 1.6 seconds when you jump out plane. After that, yes, it could be intense, but it's not, it's more like the thrill of challenging your mind.
Yeah, it's more of an adrenaline rush
Yeah.
than working out any specific muscles. Although maybe I don't know when you're flying, you're like
You can
resisting the wind
try
in
with
some way.
weight. You put weights? Never tried that.
Maybe you stick your hands out. You're resisting the wind. You
Yeah,
use some
could
muscle.
be. When you do a couple of jumps in during the same day, you get exhausted for sure.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what do you? Let's talk about some of your supplements that you're taking. What are you taking in terms of supplements? And I feel like, yeah. So just take me through your supplement stack, if you will.
Yeah.
Diet as well.
Okay. So supplement, I've been taking CLA for probably 25 years, and I keep doing it. Yeah, conjugated linoleic acid, which is it's a fatty acid.
That's usually
Um,
not in the top 10 of people. I'm curious why.
no, I know,
I actually
I
take
know.
it, but I
Yeah,
take 130s.
yeah.
One for 130, I could see why I take it. I'm curious why do you take it?
I just take it because I think it's a great balance in terms of good cholesterol, bad cholesterol, and it helps into that. It gets you into this extra energy when you get to the gym. You feel, you know what? It's been so a long time that,
It's hard to tell now.
yeah, I got used to it and I just keep using it because I liked it when I was like not doing calisthenics, but I was doing weightlifting and things like that.
Have you
So
stopped doing
that's the,
weightlifting?
yeah, completely.
Okay. Why is that?
You lose mobility and flexibility, and I don't like to work on an exercise that's, yeah,
You're saying it's not well rounded. You build muscle, but you lose mobility and flexibility.
yeah. You
But
get
that's painful
older
though.
because you're not capable of moving. People get older because they're not moving anymore. It's not the reverse. So if you force yourself of doing exercise that keep you stiff and avoid you to move, you're not going in the right direction.
Okay. And you think calisthenics is the best exercise for anti-aging as I understand it. Is that
Right.
accurate?
Yeah.
And that's because it's working on flexibility, mobility. Is it also working on flexibility?
He works on flexibility. He works on mobility a lot. He works on static movements. So you go in low intensity training, but you can sometimes go if you do some couple of push-ups and pull-up or muscle up. You're going to get into a higher intensity exercise as well. Still moving the whole body at the same time. But one of the most important factor of calisthenic is the concentration, the focus that is required to perform movement. You have to align your breathing, your mind, and your movements. And then you have to make certain sequence of the movement happen. Otherwise, you're not going to achieve one figure. So it's the whole together that helps you to get to stay in shape and to probably reverse age, I would guess.
What about your cardio? Are you doing
If you do calisthenic and you do a planche push-up, I guarantee you that your cardio is pretty solid.
what plans push up? Forgive
So
my
planche
ignorance.
is like you're holding your whole body as a planche with the feet
Like
above the
like a
ground,
plank?
3 feet. Yeah,
Planche
no,
and plank are
plank
the
is
same.
easy.
Okay. So what's the planche? Let me look this up.
Planche is like
Yeah.
hold from the floor on your two arms, straight
Oh,
arms, straight. Your feet are 3 feet from the ground, and you're all in balance as flat as possible, but straight arm. Plank is like bent arm, and the feet are
oh,
not
I see.
touching the floor. Yeah, and then if you do
Right.
push up
So
back and forth,
okay, so I looked at a picture and yeah, like you're saying, it's basically you're in the air with two arms, essentially, straight arms.
yeah, the only
That's the
part
plan.
that touch the floor are your palms.
Or
That's it.
your two palms.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
and how long could you do that planche for?
Some of my friends, they are capable of doing it for 30 seconds, 45 seconds. I cannot do more than 10 seconds.
That sounds terrible.
But on push-up, it's different
I'm
because it's a
kidding.
dynamic
I don't
movement.
think I can't do it at all, I don't think.
Yeah, most
And I'm
people
pretty fit.
cannot. Yeah.
You have to work on that, right? Like you can't just do it without
No,
training.
no, it's a whole practice. Check on front lever. That was my first movement. It's planche, but reversed. You're holding on the bar straight,
Oh, okay.
flat.
I
Yeah.
I see. And your head is facing the sky or the ground?
Yeah.
The sky. Okay, I
Yeah.
got
So
the
you're
picture.
like that.
Okay.
Flat. Yeah.
Right. And are your arms are an angle or
Straight.
like
Straight arm.
straight? Okay.
Yeah. So almost 90 degrees and your body is flat.
Okay, I got it. So 90 degrees in the arms and then your body's flat. Yeah, that's not easy to do.
It's core. It's mainly, yeah, all calisthenic comes from core. Like 80% of your performances are coming from your core. You can have like super solid arms. If you have zero core, you're not going to do anything.
And how many hours a week do you do calisthenics?
I do minimum 45 minutes a day, every day, but sometimes I do an hour and a half, depends of the movement. If I do planche push-up, I'm not going to exceed 45 minutes. If I do handstand push-up or handstand 90 degrees push-up, I would do an hour and a half. I can stay on that one. It's less
90
demanding.
degrees push-up is, so you're
So
doing
you
a
go on
handstand and you're doing a
handstand.
push-up?
Yeah. You go handstand, you go down, and then you
Yeah.
bend your body flat and you go up.
Oh, and you're touching the ground or no?
You can touch with your toes and you go up straight. You go up like
Oh,
a planche. Yeah, like a
that's
planche. You
difficult.
go.
That's
It
very
is.
difficult.
It is.
I
Yeah.
could do the handstand push-ups.
Oh, that's already a very good one.
I think
There's
my
not
record
many
is
people.
like 13 or 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
I could
lot.
do upside down.
Wow.
Yeah, and most of the time I could only do 8 to 10, I would say. But then if I've got
That's a
1
lot.
minute.
Yeah.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. Many people cannot do more than two.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about dips? How many, like before I spoke to you, I was like, I wonder, because I saw you're doing a lot of these bars. I'm like, I got to figure out how many dips I could do before I talk to you.
You know what? Here's the thing. Dips or pull-ups, it's boring for me. I could do 250 pull-ups, so I just don't care. It's
250,
just,
wait,
yeah,
250
that's
pull-ups
so
with a
easy.
bar?
Yeah, so I
250?
I challenged
How's that
myself.
possible?
It's easy. It's fucking easy. I do,
250 pull-ups?
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
I do in a row 50 L-sits pull-ups because that is a bit
You
more
should make a
challenging.
video of doing 250 push-ups. Pull-ups, I guarantee you it's gonna go viral. And put your age in there. You don't have to tell them the age. Just say it's 2x 28. 2 times 28. And this way you're
That's
gonna
it.
screen out the low IQ people. So they don't get injured doing it. Basically, you don't want them to get injured, right? So
That's a good idea, actually. I should. But
you do,
yeah,
even if
it's
you did
long.
$100,
It would be a long
it
video.
would go
Yeah,
viral. I think.
but it's a long
250
video.
pull-ups, insane.
Easy.
Jeez, whoa, that would go viral. I'm telling you, you got to do
Yeah.
it. Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh, forget it. Wow, I can't do more than. I think my top may have been 20, but I haven't been doing them for a while. So
I do that for warm up.
it's your warm up. Been doing
L
it for a
sits.
while.
L
Now
sits
I
for
can do
warm up.
10. Now I think I could 10 or something. Yeah, around 10. But I also weigh 81 kilos.
Ah.
So my BMI is quite high. Like my
Oh
BMI,
yeah.
because I'm 173 and then I'm 81 kilos. So I got to pull up a lot of weight.
Oh, we have the same age. I'm 72, but I'm lighter. I'm 135 pounds, so it's 60
You're
kilos a
130.
bit.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's
Yeah,
135
62.
pounds. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
177 pounds.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, my BMI is 20.7
and
or
I think I'm
20.8.
172.5 or something like that. So we're about the same height.
Yeah.
We're about the same height, but yeah, but I weigh 40 pounds more. Which,
Yeah, that's a
so
lot.
it's
Yeah.
significant. It's like putting,
Yeah.
how many can you do when you put on a 40 pound?
40 dumbbell. I can put 40 pounds and do the pull-ups. I'll try
Yeah,
that.
let's see. Look, you 20 with 40 pounds on. Now we're talking, all right? Maybe you'll give me a little bit of respect.
I'll try that.
I
I'll
got a
send you
lot
the,
of weight I need to carry.
yeah, I'll send you the video then.
Let's see, what
Everything
is
should be
81
proportional,
kilos?
okay?
81 times 2.2, it's 178 pounds. And what did you say you are in pounds?
135, 136.
Okay, so you got to put on 43 to 42 pounds.
Okay, okay, deal. I'll try that right
Oh,
after
man,
this.
that's like a 20 kilo. It's a 20 kilo, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you don't do bench pressing or anything like that, right?
Now, the only time I'm going to use weightlifting is actually when I want to train for ring. So I'll go on those system where I practice some sort of butterfly movement to get my shoulders for a ring, like the cross. but that's it.
Okay. And what about, have you ever done acro yoga?
It's too soft.
It's for the weak, for the weakling.
I'm
That's
elitist,
what I
like
do.
IIQ, too soft, not a
It's
sport
soft,
for
low
me.
IQ weakling for guys like me. That's not so easy, by the way.
I know. No, it's actually good. I like to see it, to do it.
Interesting. Okay. And that's very surprising that calisthenics has the cardio. What does your heart rate go up to?
I can probably go up to 160. You know what? I'm not wearing any tracker or any data tracker anymore. It's finished. I know my body so well, but I suspect my heart to go to in between 148 and 165, depending
That's
of the
pretty good
cardio.
cardio. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good
Yeah.
cardio. And
Yeah.
what's your resting heart rate?
Oh, at 56, maybe 50, 58.
Okay, that's very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it goes up quite a bit.
Mhm.
And okay, so what about your diet? What is your diet? Do you put emphasis on that, or you're not really
No,
into
I
diet
don't
that
eat
much?
shit. That's the only
Okay.
thing. But
No crap
I
food.
don't follow any diet because there is no diet that is sustainable. But I eat a lot of fish, vegetable. That's surprising. I eat pasta every day.
Okay. Interesting.
And I drink a glass of wine every day.
Secretly, you're Italian, and we know you're French here.
Yes. Yes.
Do the French eat
Italian
a lot of
parents.
pasta?
No, but my parents are Italian, so that's
Okay,
the
you got that
heritage
from the
there.
Italians, the
And
wine.
the
Well,
wine
the
from
Italians also,
France,
but the Italians also drink wine.
not
Do you
as good
think
as the
wine
French one.
is an agent that can contribute to longevity, or you just like it and you don't care?
I like it. I used to drink way more wine, but in the long run, I found that it affects my performances. So instead of drinking 3 glasses of wine per day, I just reduce that to a glass maximum per day, and I feel good. I like the antioxidant factor. After all, this is the what annoys me a lot is like people say, don't drink alcohol. It's a poison. It's this and this. And then, oh, go for a cold plunge or go for intermittent fasting. But I'm sorry, but shocking your body, alcohol do that as well.
Just pick
Yeah,
the poison, really. Your body.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. And so, you think what does alcohol do for you that you really like? You like the
No, it's
buzz? You
just,
like the taste?
no, it's too little to get a buzz, but it's just the fact that a meal has to be a mix of flavor. Otherwise, it's a boring meal, and then you turn out to be Brian Johnson eating pills.
I hear you. So you're saying that you just like it for the spice of life.
Yeah, life is we have one life, okay? We're supposed to have it for a long time if we do the right thing. But if life is boring and if you chase and if you spend your time trying to extend your life, you're not living. I want to live. I want to live on purpose. I want to have time to meditate, to walk, to sit down with myself, not doing anything, even if I had ADHD, and be able to just have the freedom to live and enjoy it. So if you turn my food into some things that look like shit and has no taste, just because of the principle of having all the nutrients that you need, I'm sorry, I say no. I want my
Okay.
glass of wine. I want my vegetable. I want my fish. I want something that is pleasant. Yeah.
No, I definitely
Yeah.
get that point of view. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Do you eat a lot of cheese as a Frenchman?
No, I'm intolerant to that. I know many people eat cheese from France, but
You're intolerant
I'm,
from the lactose or casein?
yeah, I think it's the lactose incidence
You can
on,
take
I don't
sometimes.
like the texture doesn't attract me.
Okay, interesting. I
Yeah.
was sensitive to
It's like acro yoga. It's too soft.
men for the week. I I was sensitive to dairy my whole life, and then recently I got over that sensitivity, like the past 6
Oh,
months. I just been going
okay.
crazy with blue cheese.
No wonder you're 40 pounds.
Exactly. But my liver, I checked my liver fat, very low visceral fat. I have very low
Okay.
visceral fat with a DEXA scan. It's mainly muscle, that's true. But
Okay.
yeah, that could have been very possible with the amount of cheese that I eat.
The last
Yeah.
time I had cheese, we had the idea to do a wine and cheese for friends. in Miami here that are from France. And I ended up eating a lot of cheese, and I was sick for 3 days in a row, and I couldn't just
Oh,
like
wow.
have the smell. Yeah. So I just
That's
said like
probably not from the lactose. It's probably from the casein. You probably have a sensitivity
yeah.
to it, is my guess.
uh,
It's hard to tell because also cheese doesn't have a much or any lactose. I might depend on the
True.
type of cheese, but yeah, a lot of especially fermented cheeses, stuff like that. I don't think it has much lactose, but it definitely has casein. So probably more related to other proteins in cheese is my guess, but I'm not sure. Let's go to all right. So we went through the diet, we went through your exercise regimen a little bit. What are some of the mindset hacks that you've got going on? I've never gotten into mindset hacks, by the way, but
No.
I'm open.
Yeah.
I'm open to you know.
I actually, yeah, I put really a big value on the mindset preparation for sport, for performance, for business, for everything. So in my daily routine, I would spend a lot of time in meditation for sure. It's one of
How
the
long a
things.
day?
Yeah. In the morning, I need my 20-minute minimum meditation on my terrace here before doing anything, before just like even move. I stretch and then I meditate. But
What
at the
kind of
end of the day,
meditation?
just like any meditation, I'm not using any technique, just like self-awareness and mindfulness meditation standard.
Okay.
You fix on a point, you try to hear sounds, identify them. It puts your brain into a mood where you're steady and you can stay there, and it puts you in the moment, which is important. Then I could
Do you
do
find that your mind wanders a lot, or
well, ADHD, man. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, my
yeah,
mind wanders during meditation quite a
yeah,
lot. I never
yeah.
got. I've tried it a bunch of times over the years, but never really got super into it.
There's tricks. My favorite way of doing meditation is completely out of any techniques that exist or practice that have been recognized and written on book. Is I'm going to walk, and then I'm going to walk backwards, and then I'm going to walk backward, closing my eyes. There is nothing that gets you better meditation than that.
So where are you walking backwards and forwards? What I
I live in Miami and Brickell Keys, and it's a small island just in front of where I live. And you have sidewalk
is
for
Brickell the same as Brickell Keys, or there are different places?
now. Brickell Keys is this small island that is just in front,
Okay.
and Brickell is the financial district of Miami where I live. So I cross the bridge and go around the island. There is a small wall that is really against the ocean. So I walk on that wall, and it's creative.
Interesting. And do you like living in Miami?
I love it.
Okay. What do you love about it?
I love it.
Weather?
Joe, here's the thing. My whole life I've been into business. 11 businesses, merger, acquisition, sold, bought, started, whatsoever. I sold my last business in October 21, and I was in Boston. From Montreal, I moved to Boston. I liked Boston for the spirit, for the IQ of the people there, but it's a boring city. And for me, despite the fact that I was living in Canada, I love not wearing clothes. And Miami is the perfect weather for that. When I moved to Miami, I can tell you that I've never been in my life to the state of enlightenment I'm today. I'm over 100% zen. There's nothing that touches me or bothers me, affects me in a way or the other. So if you ask me if I like Miami, I think Miami contribute to the state of mind I have today. So I do love Miami for that.
Better than France?
I wouldn't go back to France for even if you pay me for.
Why not? What's so bad about France?
I'm going to make more enemies today. Spirits, their mindsets,
The mindset. It's not like a growth mindset.
completely. It's broken. It's like when a society is driven on jealousy, envy, and like not performing but trying to level everyone down. like Canada is doing today, actually.
Socialism, essentially.
Yeah, you leverage by the bottom instead of trying to raise the bar and make people getting better. You're trying to put everyone down. So that's
Right.
France, that's Canada, socialism. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not pure socialism, but there's some
Well,
socialism. There's more
it's even
socialism
worse.
tendency.
Yeah,
Hmm?
I think that Canada, like France, are communist, not even socialist, because when you if you pay 53% taxes in a country, I'm sorry, but you work for the government.
They own 50% of you. I hear you.
That's
And
yeah.
that, I guess, it's not the case if you're selling companies. You still have to pay that, or
No, when you sell a company, but first you have to be clever enough to make your company under certain holdings that are
Canada
set
or
in the right
France.
territories or states. Yeah,
They're not in Canada.
they're not in Canada. Correct.
100%. I hear you. Okay, so let's see. We went through diet, exercise, where you live, your environment, mindset a little bit, meditation we spoke about. Let's go through a little more of the supplements that you've taken. Maybe you could
Mhm,
rapid
mhm.
fire some of the things you're taking
Yeah. So
and why you're taking it.
yeah, CLA, that was one. I take NAD subcutaneous
Okay.
because it's a nice molecule with NMN on pills. Both
Okay.
combined are a great precursor. And outside of that, once in a while, I would take iron because it's always a great boost on the oxygen in your blood. And trying to figure out which one I'm taking outside of that. Oh, resveratrol.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's about it. Yeah,
Okay. So it's
Fisetin,
less than 10.
quercetin.
Five.
I'm sorry.
Five.
Yeah, yeah.
Magnesium,
Fisetin and
fish oil,
quercetin would
vitamin
be
D.
once in a while. Yeah,
Okay. That's not really. Okay.
yeah.
Magnesium.
Magnesium every day.
Okay. So that's one of
Yeah,
fish oil.
yeah. Magnesium, fish oil, not every day.
Okay. What kind of
Yeah,
tests are you doing to, you mentioned the true age, the glycan age.
yeah. So biological age, of course, is to track where I am. But 2 days ago, I went to a full MRI body scan just to check out everything. And other than that, yeah, blood work, you need that
How
every
many markers are
3
you
months.
testing, let's say?
Yeah, all the markers possible. I'm trying to test markers like I'm over 50, so the prostate markers are important. But lucky enough, mine are like a teenager, so I don't care much. I don't even have free assay. They're undetectable. So
Wow,
my
okay.
low, yeah, my level is very low.
Okay. And okay, so you're really going minimal on the supplements. And
Hmm.
what are you doing to track these lab markers? Or do you also use genetics or
Yeah,
genetic?
genetic test. Yeah, yeah, as
Okay.
well. Screenings. Yeah.
All right. So you're doing some genetic tests, you're doing some lab markers. What do
But,
you when you
yeah.
yeah, the bloods, what do you find is changing your blood markers? Do you try to manipulate your blood markers or you just tracking them?
I'm just tracking them because I'm going to be a bit pretentious in what I'm saying, but at, at the top of my wellness status today, and what I do is actually I'm just keeping up with the pace that I've set in my intensive 10 years of hardcore biohacker, which at the end of the
Okay.
day is not that productive, but it puts you there because you track everything, you have tons of data, you know what is good, what is not, you can adjust. But at the end of the day, what you have to build up is proprioception. When you get to the point where you feel your body enough that you don't need validation by things that actually makes you completely addicted to, like Fitbit and roaring and all these things. But your body, when you feel well or something is off, then you go for analysis if something's in your feelings tells you that there's something's wrong. So I do keep track of DNA, blood markers, and everything on a quarterly base just to see where I stand. But I don't track my data on a daily basis. And what I do for that is very simple. My routine is quite of simple and I would say on purpose. I wake up, I drink water, salt, lemon, a lot of hydration before 10 a.m. I go for a walk. I watch the sunrises every day. I do meditation. I do cold plunges. I take cold shower first in the morning, but I do cold plunges 3, 4, 5 times a week in the
What do
afternoon.
you find that
So
what do you find that the cold plunges do for you?
a lot actually. Mindset. I have a speech on 45 minutes in cold water. How to stay 45 minutes in cold water.
Okay. Did you
I'm
do the speech
extreme.
when you're in the cold water, or it was give a 45-minute speech in cold water?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, exactly. Let me teach
yeah,
you how to be in when you do it in the ice.
yeah,
That's how to.
yeah,
That's the way to do it. Okay.
yeah, yeah. You're
Um.
limited to 18 minutes in TED Talk, so you can do it in cold water. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, what would you say is your number one thing you think at calisthenics is your number one hack that really is a game changer for you?
Yeah, definitely.
How did you get started in calisthenics? What would you think are like some of the biggest bang? Not talking about me, of course. What do you think some of the biggest bangs for your buck with calisthenics? Like, how can people get started?
Very easy. The first thing that you have to do is every day core. Buy yourself or ab roller and do series of ab builders there. That's one. The second is put up, push up, dips. When you get those, the four together, you become a beast and you can start doing calisthenics.
Up
Honestly.
dips, I understand. What is push up dips?
Now push up, dips,
Push ups and
pull up,
pull
and
ups
pull
and
up.
dips. Oh, all three of them.
Yeah. The three
Push
of
ups,
them
pull ups,
and
and
core.
dips.
Yeah. And core.
Okay. I like those three pull ups, push ups, and dips. I don't
Yeah.
really do that much of them, but yeah, I feel like those are very easy to do because you just need to find a bar or whatever.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. And push up, you don't need anything. You can do it in your bedroom.
Exactly. So those are.
Yeah.
So you're saying those are the core for the
Yeah.
core workouts.
Yeah. Let's pretend you don't have a bar. Do push up and core, like ab only. With that, if you do 100 push up a day and you do core like 100 roll per day, I guarantee you that your body is going to change. In 10 days, it's going to be already different.
Okay. Yes. Great
Thank
talking
you,
to you,
Joe.
Jean. All
Thank you,
right.
my man. It was
We'll
great.
be in touch.
Absolutely.
Ciao.
Absolutely. Take care.
67% of listeners aren't subscribed to the show, so please don't forget to show your support by hitting the subscribe button now. You'll not only be supporting the show, but also investing in yourself and your health journey, all while helping to keep us ad-free.